What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. With Gamescom coming up, a bunch of leaks have already started to surface about games we can expect to see, games that won't be there, on top of the things we're getting about studios, publishers, etc. Today, I want to take a minute to talk about leaks and the truth that most people either don't want to hear or just don't want to admit. Honestly, there's a lot of nuance to this conversation, more than I can get into on my own. I just can't see all the perspectives, but let's just address kind of that elephant in the room. Game leaks are bad. As much as we might like to hear about things early or whatever, the truth is they kind of suck. You can argue with me all you want, but stealing information or utilizing contacts, back end of YouTube or whatever to get info about a game before the company wants to tell us, and telling people before their time, is super lame. Now think back with me to the Xbox showcase this June, where after the little COD beginning stuff that's whatever, they showed this super awesome, super cool Doom the Dark Ages trailer. It looks awesome, it looks visceral, it looks so good, it was so hyped, except that all of us were sitting there going, oh yeah, we knew that was coming. Right? We expected it. Why? Xbox hadn't said anything. You know, the Bethesda, id Soft, they hadn't said nothing, but we knew it was coming. Why? Because someone leaked it ahead of time. How hype would that trailer have been if we didn't know it was coming? Right? That would have blown up the internet. We all would have been crazy if we hadn't known that Doom was there. We hadn't known it was going back to medieval. Like, if we hadn't heard anything, a total surprise, the reactions would have been completely different. They would have been, instead of, oh yeah, we knew that was coming, they'd have been, holy crap, look at this. The conversation would have been so much more exciting because we wouldn't have already expected it. How many times in these shows have we had these huge reveals only for the hype to be either dead or super low because of things like this? We knew it was coming before they showed it. I look back to the year 2015 when they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake. The explosion of excitement in that crowd was crazy. People were going nuts. Like, that kind of reaction is so fun. It's exciting. It's contagious, right? Like, that's a lasting memory. Think about people who were there. They will always remember that. I wasn't even there, and I remember it, right? No one's going to remember or have a lasting memory of Doom the Dark Ages. Even someone who's super excited about Doom, right? Because they knew about it from some leaker, from some YouTube video, from something beforehand. Now, because leakers are so vast, there's so many people leaking information, almost every game gets leaked ahead of time before it's announced. I find it so interesting that the entire industry lambasted the hackers who leaked huge amounts of data in that Insomniac leak. Yet they cheerfully indulge in leaks from the community. What do people not see the hypocrisy in that? If it's wrong for a hacker to steal loads of data and pass out the info as part of their bid to get money, then it is also wrong for people to get the info from back end of YouTube or from talking to people at the company or whatever, and then give it out ahead of time. It's the same kind of thing. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would think that one is okay and the other is not. You can hear from developers themselves how much it sucks to have that moment ruined for them, to have their project leaked. Yacht Club Games had their media manager on Spawncast a few years ago, and she lamented how much it sucked for the team to have their games leaked ahead of time, even though they had spent years on the game and months preparing some cool announcement, to have it just yanked out from under them by somebody on YouTube. And all for what? What do leakers gain? Are they gaining a bunch of clout? Do they earn a ton of money? Is there massive growth in their channels? No, there's not. Maddie from Mr. Maddie Plays and Retro Rebound and whatever his other channels are discussed these leaks on his podcast, Defining Duke with Cognito, and that when he used to leak stuff, because he has done it before, he saw no growth on his channel. The people who came around to chase the leaks just left his channel to chase it somewhere else. He saw no substantial growth in any metric. Known leaker Nate the Hate has grown his channel to around 24,000 subs. Now, don't get me wrong, that's way more than me. I don't have a problem with Nate himself, but he's a known leaker, one who is known for being pretty right a lot of the time. Jeff Grubb, also known for his accuracy when leaking game information, only averages like 4,000 to 5,000 views on his game mess, and maybe 8,000 views when he leaks stuff before a big show. Now, again, those are way bigger than my numbers. I don't have anything against them as people, right? Like, I don't know them, so there's no judgment coming from me to them. I just happen to know them in the industry for this thing. But look at their channels. They're not massive. They're not humongous, like getting tons of clout, everyone following them, everyone subbing to their channels. They're not. They're on the smaller side. And again, no judgment. They're way bigger than me. But like, those being accurate leakers hasn't done anything for them channel-wise. So even though they have a strong track record of being right when they do choose to leak things, because I'm sure they know things that they choose not to. Why one or not the other, I don't know. That, it's only something they could answer, but it hasn't resulted in millions of views or massive channels. Why? Because people who chase the leaks follow the leaks from one to the other. They don't stay. So what happens? The surprise is ruined for everyone. People spread the information, even if the leaker only gave it to a little bit, someone else spreads it around. No one really profits off it. The developers get screwed over. The game might even suffer because the hype cycle is way down. Gaming leaks just suck. They just do. Now, I will say that I feel different about leaking like business crap that they would just cover up. Like closing studios, toxic work culture, crunch, even raising prices for Game Pass. That's stuff that they would try to sneak in or like not let us know fully, or they pass information that's so mismanaged that you don't have any idea what they're doing. That feels a little different, right? Because you're not ruining the chance for a game. You're disclosing information from a company that would hide it from its consumers. Also, there is some difference, I think, to something like, what was it, the NVIDIA leak, where nobody stole that information. It like came out on their servers, and whether you report on that or not, I think is a very interesting conversation. And how do you decide to do that or not? I don't have the answer, so I won't say that I won't ever talk about that. I think I've even talked about that when I was doing some news stuff. So, that's part of that nuance conversation, right? Where does it get different? But for me, the straight takeaway is, if I just make friends at Microsoft and then they say, "Oh, dude, we're making, I don't know, whatever it is, Banjo-Kazooie," right? And I go, "Oh, that's cool." And then I come on here and I say, "Hey guys, guess what? Banjo-Kazooie's in development." And then, 3 months later or a month later or whatever, they have an Xbox showcase and they go, "Banjo-Kazooie." And you all go, "Oh yeah, we knew that." Right? That's lame. That's just lame. And what do I get from that? Nothing. What do you get from that? Nothing. It's not good for the industry. It's not helpful for the industry. I think it lowers sales for games because that hype isn't there. I think that it ruins things for developers who plan out a careful cycle on how they're going to announce and when, and how long that run-up is. I know I'm having trouble remembering specific games, so maybe you guys can help me in the comments. But I know that we have had times where we lament the amount of time between announcement and delivery of a game, right? And I also know there have been times where we're like, "Oh, we've known about this game for 2 years, but they only announced it a year before. But we've just heard about it because of leakers." And so we feel like, "Oh, they announced it too early," but really they didn't. we just heard about it from leakers too early. Why? Stupid. I think that they ruin stuff. I think that it's a stupid practice. It doesn't gain anything for anyone. I don't think it helps anyone. Hackers who get in and steal information, we all know is wrong, right? We all look at that and say, oh, that's stealing. That's wrong. They shouldn't do that. But for some reason, so many of us cling to this idea that, oh, game leakers are fine. But they're not. They're lame. And it should just go away. So you may disagree with me, and feel free to yell at me down in the comments, and we'll talk back and forth and have a conversation for whatever kind of conversation you can actually have on the internet these days. But in my opinion, leaks are bad, and I think that's the truth about gaming leaks, and that they should just go away. All right, well, now that I've said all that, that's going to be it for me. Feel free again to yell at me in the comments, say you agree, disagree, whatever, like, dislike the video. I hope you enjoyed the video or got something out of the conversation. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the dislike. If not, if you haven't already, smack that subscribe button. That helps me out a ton. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.